I like Michael Penix Jr. I like his arm strength, right? I like his arm strength. I also like. Hold on, y'all. I feel like he could be one of them ones. I just feel like he could be one of them ones that could be a very very quarterback one of these days. My problem with Michael Penix Jr. is can he stay healthy? That is a very shit. How can I say this? I'm trying to pick my words right when I talk about bro. 'Cause like I said, he's a very I don't want to sleep on bro. Like he's a very good quarterback, right? But at the same time, would I have picked him at number 8? Nah. If I look back at it, nah. But we're here now. We got to see how he's gonna come out. Do I think he's gonna be ready for the season opener? No. And what I am glad this year, and then hopefully we'll see what Kevin Sinesky, whatever his name is, whatever Kevin, our head coach, however he do, we will see our starters in preseason this year. To me, that's gonna be a big benefit because I got tired of seeing our starters not playing in preseason and we come out looking sloppy. That was big to me. But I don't know how everybody else feel about that. But I'm gonna talk about the quarterbacks again in a minute. Let's get on to the free agency. Brian Robinson Jr. To me, so we had to get a replacement for damn, y'all gonna kill me for not remember. Tyler Algier. Yeah, I think that's Tyler Algier. We lost Tyler Algier and in free agency this year to the Arizona Cardinals. And I was just talking to somebody about this because somebody said that Arizona's out here looking for about signing Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame, and I think Jeremiah Love is a very special talent. I think he's going to be very special in the NFL. I don't want to see him with Arizona. I see what they have done with Marvin Harrison Jr. To me, I just don't see and it might not be them. It might be just him. You feel me? Because they've had talent there before. They had a Larry Fitz Jr. They've had talent there. They had Aquan. They had Bolden and stuff like that. They've had talent and they made it work. So it might not even be the organization. It might be the player. It might be the coaches. I don't know. I just don't want to see Love go there. And I think Love is a very special talent. I think he could be just as good. He could be up there with Bijan and Gibbs in the right system. I'd rather see him with. I don't want to see him with Arizona. I'd probably rather see him with the Titans. I'd probably rather see him with the Titans. Now, do I think he'll make it out of because at first they had him going all the way down to ninth to New Orleans. I definitely don't want to see that. Do I think it would be a good for him? Yes. Do I think it would be good to see him twice a year? No. That's just my opinion. But you never know. I think if he does go to Arizona, him and Tyler Algier will be good together. It'll you need that in the system. Tyler Algier come in. Now who will start? I would start Tyler Algier just to start just to start. They did the same thing with Bijan. They didn't start Bijan right away. Shoot, they barely played Bijan his first year, so I would do that. But the Atlanta signed Brian Robinson Jr. to replace Tyler Algier, who left for the Arizona Cardinals as a free agent. The Falcons need someone reliable to spell Bijan Robinson when necessary, and Brian Robinson fits the bill. The additional fit what the new Atlanta regime has proposition this offseason value, upside, and low risk. Brian Robinson, a 27-year-old who has escaped 700 yards 3 times and has 37 career starts, comes at a low price. Not bad to me. I think that was a good pickup. We needed another running back, a number 2 running back, somebody who can who can run through the A gap, B gap, get those hard extra yards. Not saying Bijan, because Bijan definitely can run through it. You feel me? But it takes all them tolls and punishment that Bijan don't have to go through. The same thing Tyler Algier did. Trevor Sullivan, I'm not even gonna speak on him. I don't even care about these third string quarterback. All right, Tua Tagovailoa. So all right, y'all. Tua would have not been my first choice as quarterback to pick up. Why? Because I really already, if you have seen, and if you haven't seen, you can go, I guess, YouTube it or whatever, whatever. When it comes to seeing Tua play, bro, Tua, I worry about Tua every time he get hit, just like I worry about Michael Penny Jr. every time he get hit. My Tua, he the concussion, mind you, I think he had a good season last year, had no problems. But the concussions that I seen from the hits I seen, bro, I don't know what it is with the Falcons taking chances on quarterbacks with very, very well known serious injuries. Um, hey, who do I see winning the quarterback position starting off? I do see Tua starting off, only because I don't know how Michael Penny Jr. is gonna come back off this ACL injury. Broden had a good 5 injuries in the last maybe 7, 8 years. You know what I mean? So that's not a good look. You feel me? Like, it's not a good look. You wish him well, but it's not a good look. That's just honest truth. It's not a good look. Is you feel like he's injury prone. Every time he get hit, you're gonna worry about him. But it's the same thing with Tua. But don't get it wrong. If Tua could come in, learn the system, right? Learn the system and just hold up. Do I think Tua can get us to the playoff? Yeah. Cause you gotta think about it. Tua whooped our ass last year. Bad. And we had a good defense. Like, we had a good defense last year. You can't take away nothing from our defense. Tua did us dirty last year, and he didn't even have Tyreek Hill. So you got to look at it like that, bro. Like, he's gonna come in, he's gonna come compete. You know, he got that Alabama pedigree, so he's gonna come in compete. I'm pretty sure they already did OTAs and stuff like that. You're gonna be working with Drake London and stuff like that. Two left-handed quarterbacks, so that's another good thing, right? You got two left-handed quarterbacks, so whoever starts or whoever comes in, the the it won't be a different feeling of how the ball is rotated for the wide receivers, because it plays a bit different going from a left-handed quarterback to a right-handed quarterback, because the ball comes off different, placement is different, everything is different. So that's the benefit of having two left-handed quarterbacks. Mind you, the con is they both are injury prone. I don't know how that's gonna see, but I want to, before I get off them, right? Let me ask y'all this, right? This is a make or, and I'm before I said let me ask y'all this, let me say this. This is a make or break season for both to me, for both, because Tua could play himself into another deal, and Michael Penny Jr. can show that he's the future, or both can show that neither one of them can play, and the Falcons will be setting themselves up. And I hope not, because if you setting yourself up, usually I mean you're having a losing season or average season. But next season is supposed to be the big year for the quarterbacks, and I think the Falcons could look into this draft, next year's draft, and be like, if these two quarterbacks don't play out, we could be looking into the next year quarterback. They can make some moves or do some things. We don't know how this new GM and Matt Ryan, sorry ass, gonna do, but that's just my opinion. That's just something to look out for. Jay Dotson, another wide receiver that we have signed, that's supposed to be, I believe he's supposed to be our wide receiver too. I'm not sold on it. But I don't know. Like I said, he was starting behind Ajay Brown and Devontae Smith. I believe if he was still there, he would have been their number two. But so the former Eagles signed a 2-year deal with the for 15 million. One thing notable missing from the Falcons wide receiver room in 2025 was someone who could stretch the defense with speed. Dawson could fill the role next season with his 4.43 speed, a 40-yard dash monitor. The Falcons have also held prototype pass catching signing wide receiver, or maybe I don't know how to say the name, tight end Austin Hooper is now Dotson, a former first round pick who won a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles. These might not be a splash equation, but they complement wide receiver Trey London and tight end Kyle Pitts and add depth. All right, y'all. Y'all let me know how y'all feel. Do y'all feel like we're gonna trade Kyle Pitts before the trade deadline too? Because I've been hearing a lot of rumors, and I've been seeing that Kyle Pitts is on the deadline to be traded. He could be traded. I hope not. I know a lot of people think that I'll lead the Falcons if Kyle Pitt. This ain't got nothing to do with that. Fuck all y'all. Fuck what y'all feel. But I would hate to see us do that because I believe that Kyle Pitts is gonna have another stellar year. I believe Dre London is gonna have another stellar year. I also believe that we need to sign both Drake London and Bijan Robinson. But that's for another story, another day. I talked about us signing Austin Hooper, who's coming back to us, who was a solid wide receiver, tight end for us, who I think was going to be another solid. He good, good. Not only a good block, a run blocker, but a very very good catcher. So I'm not mad at that. Cameron Thomas. Cameron Thomas is coming from that Brown defense. He was with Kevin Stefanski at Cleveland. So I'm pretty sure he knows, his system and all that stuff. We're gonna need the depth because, like I talk about with James Pierce Jr. gone, and I think the Falcons have some questions marked up front, including whether Arnold Abubuye will be resigning as an edge. I thought he signed somewhere already. Yeah, he with Philly. I don't know what they talking about. So yeah, he's with Philly. So we need another pass rusher. Atlanta also lost defensive tackle David Numier to the New York Jets and free agent. We don't care. Enter Thomas, a solid, versatile defensive end. We see how that lasts because we had Morgan Fox last year and he didn't do nothing for us. So sometimes with these 1 year deals and dudes like that, you just never know. We signed Deshaun Handle. I forgot about him. That's another solid defensive tackle. See how that goes. Channing Tyndale, we signed him. That's another linebacker. Because remember, I was talking about our linebacker crew, right? Because we could be signing a linebacker. Don't know. I think these could be good, solid pickups. We got Christian Harris also. We picked up. Could be a replacement for Caden Ellis, who has become one of the best blitzing off-ball linebackers in the league. We need speed at linebacker. Caden Ellis might have been a good blitzer, but he couldn't cover worth a damn. Not a damn penny, bro. So with us getting new, that speed at the linebacker position was much needed. And I don't know what we're gonna do with Troy Anderson, but we need to let him go. He ain't did shit in years. Now you see the talent and you see flashes of what he could have been, but he's still injury prone. We got a lot of injury prone players on our team, bro, and we gotta let that go. Um, this one right here, I think is gonna be one of the ones that's gonna be the free agency that we're gonna be like, all right, that was one of the ones that I'm glad we got. Falcons are bringing home. I cannot pronounce his name, so I'm not gonna say it. Who played at Georgia for college and went to high school in Marietta. Marietta be having them boys. They used to have a good high school football team. I hate to say that, but them and Noonan and like some of them schools that be going, like they be having some good players. Atlanta wouldn't need help at edge if it loses, so we did lose them. Uh, his 2025 campaign was cut short with injuries, but Arugula seems likely to be an edge rusher rotation with Jalen Walker, the return of Braylon Trice, and a potential sign of Kim. Braylon Trice is another one. I hope he can get through training camp. That's all I can say. We signed Kristen Williams. Who is this? 6'2", 298. That's why I said when you get them 6'2", 298 pounds, they cool and all, but you need somebody big, bro. Like with I just feel for our system, we need like a big 6'4", 6'5". You know what I mean? This was the guy I was talking about, Lakay London, that we signed back last year, 6'3", 297 pounds. He was good, decent, but got a few sacks too. But he wasn't a run stopper, and that's what we need is a run stopper, bro. So that's all I like. And we saw Tyler Goodson and stuff like that. So those was our free agents this year that we have signed right now. Mind you, after the draft, you never know who we might pick up and stuff like that. And after training camp and all this and this and that. Um, I'm gonna get back into these draft situation. Let me go to these draft picks real quick. And let's go to the linebacker crew real quick. Nah, that's wide receiver and linebacker. So we already know Reeves is gonna be a top 5 pick. Stoney Styles will be a top 10 pick. Now we get to down to the Anthony Hill Jr., CJ Allen, these players right here. You never know how this draft is gonna go. So with these players right here, I can't say what round they might end up in. It might be mid first round, early second round, or they could drop. Um, I think CJ Allen will be a talented NFL linebacker. 6'1", 235 pounds. A great leader. Uh, very high IQ of the game and stuff like that. I'm not gonna take anything away from bro. I like Jacob Rodriguez as well for that Texas Tech, even though they didn't do. No, it wasn't. It was their offense, but they in the playoffs. If it wasn't for their defense, they wouldn't have had no chance in that game. Unfortunately, they play the offense didn't show up for them. But these are something like that. Them top between Anthony Hill, CJ Allen, and Rodriguez, I wouldn't mind having as a linebacker. Don't sleep on Pinkins, right? All right, this player started off at Florida, right? He started off at Florida, then he transferred to LSU. Can't be mad at bro for what he did. He didn't have a one those years. He was supposed to have a stellar. Like if he would have had a top rated season last year, he would be a top 10 draft pick because he's that talented. I don't know what happened. LSU had an off season last year. I know, like I said, he was injured. I think he ran like a 4.3 or 4.4 in the pro day. Somebody's gonna get a talented linebacker, and if he can get get his mindset up to the skill level that he should be playing at, bro, somebody's gonna get them a guy that's still of the draft with that one. I like Scooby Williams too. I don't know what happened to Scooby Williams. I like Scooby Williams as a linebacker. I wouldn't be mad at him as a late round pick as well if we got him. But I like Scooby. Wesley cool. I ain't really watched too much of Wesley that much. Like I said, I'm not big. I'm big on these cornerbacks and wide receivers that I think we're gonna get. I'm not gonna really get into the defensive end because I don't think we're looking at a defensive end this year. Even though we got the situation with James Pierce Jr., don't sleep on Tyrese Sapp. I like Sapp Grums. So Grums is the guy that gave Georgia the problem, and all my homies kept asking me like, bro, who the fuck is Grums? Like he could ball. He's solid. He's new to playing defensive end. I think he just started playing it like not too long ago. Maybe when he started in college, they switched his position. But I know he haven't been playing defensive end, so he's still raw at the position. But as he become and matures at the game, somebody's gonna get a steal. Bro. I be liking these Clemson players, but only because they be fired Clemson. When they get to the NFL, bro, they just don't always turn out to be what I thought they was gonna be. But I hope that change. All right, y'all. So let's get to this cornerback. The top one, two, damn, three, four, and maybe five are gonna be first round picks. I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe. I believe we're at, but we might. Some of them might drop. You never know. If they did drop, right? Hood would be my first choice between him and Avion. I like Hood just because I know McCollin and uh Delane is gonna be gone. Brandon Cease, he's good. He's decent. Not too fluid in the hip that I think, but he's decent. Uh, Kavion Scott, I like Kavion Scott. Now we could get him. I thought he played safety, but if we could get him, I would be happy as hell. I wouldn't be mad at that. Hood, Hood is probably my number one. My number one I mean, my number one cornerback for what we're drafting at. If it was we was higher up, it would be on Mansour, but don't sleep on Hood. Don't sleep on really this cornerback class is deep, right? So say like and say we pass on a cornerback in the first round, I mean second round, right? And you say like a Devin Moore, right? Devin Moore to me is a solid cornerback. No, he's not blazing speed 4.3, 4.4, right? But if you watch Florida play, Devin Moore was the best cornerback we had all season. I really never had to worry about Devin. Everybody else, yeah, but Devin was solid. I don't know why he wasn't talked about as much as a cornerback, but to get him late in the late rounds would be a steal for real, for real. Like just like a Billy Bowman was last year for us. It'll be a steal. So those are the people I'm looking for. Chandler Rivers is decent. 5'10", 185. He's decent, bro. I but yeah, that's the cornerbacks I'm looking for in this draft class that I hope that we pick. Mind you, now we could pull off a trade out of somewhere, bro. Like